first point you mentioned was about investing in the right area. In other words, a quality area, not elite, as you mentioned before, but a good, solid area. How do you go about doing research for that? I know you guys would be doing that all the time. You must have got a team of researchers that does that. But if you're doing it on your own, what sort of research should you be doing?
Yeah, we have a number of great websites. If anybody's ever really interested in this, just my contact information will be at the end of it, and you guys can reach out to me, and I'll send it to you. But we have different websites, and we have a lot of data that we can pull up, and we can put addresses in, and it's all free. The stuff that we normally use, and it will tell you the incomes per neighborhoods, and you can really see where those lines are made. Because when you're doing the good old days without the Google Maps, you would drive around and you're like, oh, whoa, this is a lot different than this over here. And you might look down when you're on satellite view, everything looks great, right? And you don't see that there's a train track there and there's a road that really divides neighborhoods. So if you can do like an overlay on that, and there's other, I don't know the name of the website we use, but there's one great one where it really tells you exactly, draws the lines of where the income lines are. And that puts you right where, in the United States, like we're looking for the apartments we're buying, we're typically looking for people, their household income in these properties, 60, 80, we have, 80, 90, up to 100,000 is typically where you're going to find our typical renter base, right? And so, household. So probably if there's one or two people in there, that's what they're really making. So you can really figure out exactly where that is. And then if you go over here and you're looking at a property and it might be in that 20 or 30, it might not be exactly what you're looking for. So it allows you to really hone in, because you can't change the neighborhood. You can, if you're buying it really long term and it's right on that line, maybe you'll get lucky and it'll change. But if how you're doing with us, and we buy, and I wouldn't say it's short term, but we're buying for 5 to 7 years. That's what we'll tell investors, even if it's shorter than that. That is, in that scenario, that is where you really want to check and make sure you're buying in an area that is already seen, that's already solid, and you're just kind of riding it a little bit as it gets better.